Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and ignorant children of the Isles, welcome to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. That's right, it is I, your world champion here, and tonight I am joined, of course, by DropThisBox. We do not have a Vash tonight, which it's all right, it's all good. But yeah, we are here to talk to you guys about SmackDown. So as you guys are coming in, hopefully you had a great evening, a good Friday for all of you. All you returning people, I already see Oblivion's in the chat with his hawk tour going on. So thank you for all that. But before we get into everything, if you're new here, well, first of all, welcome to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. And if you're wondering who exactly we are, well, we've got some anime in our souls, and we got thoughts of wrestling out of control. And tonight, we're a duo of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we go through the wrestling event of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all nerds. So grab your steel chair, yell for the table, and get put through an experience like none other. We are, of course, brought to you by AniMa Studio, and this is the Weebs of the Ring podcast. And like I just said, there's only two of us tonight, so no Vash's Stampede. But if you see him over there in Madison Square Garden, because he was there live, hopefully you got to see him. And if not, hey, go see him, say hi real quick, all that lovely hullabaloo and all that. But Drop, how you doing tonight, buddy? It's been a week. We didn't do our show on Monday, but how you doing? How's your week been?
I'm doing pretty good. Everything's going pretty swell.
Oh, good. Man, I love to hear it. Also, chat, let us know about like any mic volumes and all that, because sometimes this program likes to be a little messy when it comes to those things. But again, hopefully you all are having a great night, great, awesome time, because this was a really good SmackDown. In our little group chat, I had mentioned to Drop here, I was like, man, we really only have like 4 headlines tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
so
yeah.
Really not much, honestly, to talk about. So it's more than likely going to be a short show today, guys.
Yeah. And I mean, and nothing wrong with it being short or anything, but
yeah, exactly.
Because this was a really good show. Like, especially our like main headline for the evening. Like, it was crazy insane. So, let's just strap in. Let's go ahead and talk about it. This whole bloodline shenanigans going on. Like, they have, like the title says down there, they've crossed the line tonight by decimating and destroying Paul Heyman. How are we feeling about this right now? What are your immediate thoughts right now regarding all this, Drop?
I'm honestly surprised that Paul Heyman took a bump like that. Like, I wasn't really expecting him to. I was expecting him to like take Samoan Spike, because I feel like anybody could probably take something like that. But I wasn't expecting him to like take that table spot. That's what really caught me off guard. But I'm also really happy it happened, because now that opens the door for whenever Roman and Jimmy comes back, what they're going to do after seeing that happen. Because I remember when I was watching this whole segment play out, as soon as Solo said acknowledge me, I already knew straight off the bat that he fucked up right there. Like, as soon as those 2 words came out, I'm like, yeah, Roman's watching this right now. He's witnessing everything that's going on. He just saw what you did to the wise man. Things aren't looking pretty for them. I mean, they might be. I mean, honestly, like, if I'm being 100% honest, they really needed Jacob Fatu to actually make that group feel threatening, because yes, Tama Tonga's there, and he's been doing some really cool things for the group. And Tonga Loa, at least as of now, he's just there. So he's not really doing anything special to me. But Jacob Fatu is like definitely going to make the group more intimidating because of how much of a monster that guy is. But that definitely caught me off guard towards the end. Like, I was expecting Paul to say that, but it's just when he took that table spot, that's what really threw me off the edge.
Yeah, it got kind of the same here. Like, we've been talking a little bit about like this inevitable breakup of, at least with Paul Heyman, like getting decimated and all that. So we had mentioned, oh, it's probably going to be brutal and all that. And yeah, I was not expecting a table spot from Paul Heyman. And I feel for the man. I really do. Like, he knew exactly what was going to happen with him saying, "I don't acknowledge you," and just the whole setup of that too. Like, because I had the same thought you did, Drop, where it's like, okay, as soon as Solo was just like, "Acknowledge me," I'm like, oh no, we're doing this tonight. Oh no, that's immediately my brain went from, oh, Jimmy's not coming back. We're getting the Paul Heyman beat down right now. Oh no, strap in, everybody, especially you, Vash's fan. I see you in there. Oh, you saw Vash at SmackDown. Oh, that's awesome. Wait, okay, hold on, Vash's fan. Wait, I need to ask: Are you the people that took a photo of his sign? Because he did have a sign out there.
He had 2 different signs, didn't he?
Yeah. I forgot what the
I
other
know,
one was. It
I
was
know it
like,
was the Weebs of the Ring sign, and I know it was another Weebs of the Ring sign.
yeah, I think he had the logo on that second one.
Oh, okay.
I think, or
At least he
it
has a
looked
good
like the
enough.
logo.
At least he was at a good enough level, because I know sometimes when they sit like all the way like down below, they sometimes confiscate the signs because people can't see the
Oh
show.
yeah, I think it almost looked like he was on the edge where because this report kind of came out. I think it was like yesterday or maybe this morning that they were doing the smaller scaled stage
Yeah.
for, for more people to fit in and all that, and it looked like he was around that area that would have been like the cutoff. So yeah, you looked out tonight, Vash, and oh, looks like it was his fan that was there. So hey, cool, Vash, your fan was the one that took the photo.
There you go. We'll just have to let him know. I'm not sure if he's watching the show right
Oh
now.
well. Yeah, we'll let him know. He'll hear all this because he'll put in like the timestamps and all that, and I'm sure he'll want to listen in. But I'm just gonna put this up there for you, buddy. Like, good. You know what? We love that you're hyped. We love to see the energy and all that. We love to feel the energy when you guys are in there. So you know what? If you're super hyped meeting one of us, go ahead. I love the energy. I'm sure, Drop. I'm sure you would love the energy too.
Oh
You know?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So don't feel bad though. It's all good. It's all good
Like
in the hood.
I can understand, when you're
Mhm.
like I would probably feel the same way if I met like a certain celebrity that I happen to be really a big fan of,
Mhm.
and I really wouldn't know what words to say. Like when I met Steve Burns, which is like that picture right here on my finger is when I met him at 90s Con last year. That was someone that I grew up watching as a kid.
Mhm.
So I was a little bit nervous to like express how I felt towards him, but I thought just to keep my cool, jumping in there, just let everything go with the flow, and everything ended up turning out okay. So I could definitely understand like why you might have been nervous to meet Vash, because that's somebody that you enjoy watching weekly whenever we do the shows. So like that's definitely normal. I wouldn't feel bad about that. That's just a normal human reaction,
Oh
because it
yeah.
just shows like how passionate you are about Weeps of the Ring, and how you care about each and every single one of us in the show. So that's completely normal.
Yeah. I mean, hell, the other month when I went to freaking MomoCon, I was in line to get this special it was that Matt Braley Dana Terrace collab art, and
Hmm.
I was standing there in line, and I'm like, okay, what do I even say to Matt Braley? Because like, Amphibia did a lot for me like last year, trying to like process a bunch of shit. But so I'm just standing there like, okay, what do I tell this guy that like created a story that really helped me in life? And it's just like, hi, thank you for creating it. And then I walk away. I'm like, son of a bitch. That's the best I could come up with. Uh, but nah, it's all good. It's all good. And like, again, it's all good. But going back up into this topic, like,
Mm.
you had mentioned that like Jacob Fatu like really added that this intensity that the Bloodline 2.0 has kind of been missing. Like, don't get me wrong, like Solo and the Tongas, they've been doing stuff. Like they've been active, they've been, trying to beat down people and all that. But it's like, as the internet likes to hang on to this word, aura. There was a certain aura that was missing from all of this. And I'm not gonna lie, I
Hmm.
think Solo started getting some of that tonight, because it's like, okay, yeah, you could say what you want about like Jacob Fatu, obviously, because he's great. I've seen clips and all that, and I mean, just his presentation alone tonight, the company is looking high up for Jacob
Yeah,
Fatu. But
that's somebody
it's
you're gonna eventually see main eventing PLEs. So
exactly like, oh man, I could see that. Like after this whole bloodline shenanigans is done, I could see him, yeah, being up there at the top. Uh,
oh yeah.
but like in a way too, it's like we're kind of bringing back Solo's aura now because like it was the moment he said acknowledge me. It's like, oh, you could tell that this is something like in the character of Solo Sikoa, like something that's been building up in him for the longest time. Because like coming up onto the main roster, he didn't talk a lot. He was just there as the silent enforcer. And it's like now he's finally able to talk more. He's finally able to like start leading and start taking charge and all that. And the fact that like he's the leader of these wild Samoans, like not to pull that card right now, but it's like they are wild Samoans right now. Like he's the leader of them. He's the one that like keeps them in check, even though he really doesn't keep them in check. But like in a way, this is all kind of built up to bring back his aura. Like, I don't know. Am I the only one thinking of this? What do you think about that, Drop?
No, I definitely no way. I can definitely see what you're coming from.
Mm,
I was honestly kind of surprised in general that he submitted to Solo the way he did tonight. I really wasn't expecting much out of him because he just rubs me off as the kind of person where he's just staying true to himself. So just
oh,
seeing
Jacob.
him in that, yeah. So I mean, that's how I felt about Solo at first. Like when I first saw Solo, he just rubbed me a certain way where he just remained neutral and he's
Mm,
just there, just build up bodies. That's how I saw Jacob Fatu the same way. He was just there to rank up a whole bunch of bodies with whoever they're feuding with at the time, or just to get
mm,
people out of harm's way if they're trying to affect the bloodline or anything. But I'm waiting to see where it goes because like I do know that was like one of the things that people worried about the most when
mm,
they had Jacob Fatu enter, because a lot of people saying that the way that Jacob Fatu is being presented on television, that's how Solo Sokola should be presented. Like the way you see Jacob, that's who Solo should be.
mm,
Which I can definitely understand like where that's coming from because you got to look at the kind of like star power Jacob Fatu brings in, and I think maybe it's because he just has like more value under his name, and he's been wrestling in different indie promotions before he decided to come over here, so he
mm.
definitely has more name value out there instead of like Solo.
Yeah, because like Solo just kind of went on to NXT and he did a few things, and people were kind of calling him being moved up and being put in the bloodline. But yeah,
Mhm.
like you said, he didn't really have much of a name before then, or at least I don't recall his name being around or like any other name he went by.
I did see like the other day that Solo was in some other indie promotion, but I don't really
Okay.
recall exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But I would compared to Jacob Fatu, probably didn't have as much of attraction as
Yeah.
Jacob does.
Yeah, he wasn't making like waves as much as Jacob or even Tama Tonga for that matter. And Tonga Loa a little bit, but I mean, that's mainly because that clip of him and Okada fighting keeps going around.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that little slap fest, but I digress with that. But yeah, I like the intensity that we're bringing. I like this like feeling of okay, this is a new bloodline, and I do like too how you mentioned that with Solo like being inserted into the bloodline because like a lot of people have been bringing up too like online that especially early on in this bloodline 2.0 stuff that Solo was brought in by like the high chiefs and all that. Like they were brought in by the higher council or whatever phrase it was. They weren't brought in by Roman. They were just he was just appointed. So there's always that avenue that they can go by as well with this storyline and like that could tie into like the Rock doing it and how we get Rock Roman and all that. But like this this moment like this is something I've been anticipating and waiting for because now now the countdown begins for when Roman comes back. Because when Roman
Oh
comes
yeah.
back, when that music hits, when that like choir starts singing, oh gosh, it's gonna be insane levels. It's like to a point because okay, I was thinking of this on my drive home as well, like trying to make comparisons with like anime characters and all that with everything that's going on, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I kind of changed my mind on how Cody and Roman were, and it kind of ties in here as well. So WrestleMania 40 was basically Cody Rhodes's Super Saiyan 2 moment. He was his
Hmm.
Gohan, and Roman was Perfect Cell. And Roman's went away. He got teleported and blew up, and now he's gone. But when he comes back, it's going to be on the levels of when Cell came back from like blowing himself up on King Kai's planet. And like he just comes
Hmm.
back and he's still in his perfect form. And he's just like, yeah, nah, you guys are screwed. Like, I am not having any of this. And I mean, it could be up to Cody to finish him off, but that's a whole other different topic. The point of the matter is when Roman comes back, whatever arena they're in, whatever stadium, whatever wherever they're at, that place is going to implode on itself.
Oh yeah.
Like Roman is going to be out for blood because Solo's messing up. He is basically going into business
So,
for himself.
Solo's gonna shit his pants.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
My prediction is SummerSlam. It has to be
Mm-hmm.
because Roman would want to come back and appear on a big stage. I know some
Yeah.
people said Money in the Bank. I don't see that. That's more
Yeah.
of a pay-per-view. I could see Jimmy coming back, and then that's when you build up to Roman leading
Mm-hmm.
up to Money in the leading up to SummerSlam. Like that's when I can definitely see Roman coming back. Because whenever something happens at SummerSlam, it's always something that pops the crowd, and it's that one big moment that you remember in the summer. So I could definitely see
Yeah.
him holding it off until there. Like especially if they're going to do that Cody and Solo match, you would
Mm-hmm.
only think Roman being factored into that towards the end, possibly like screwing over Solo, or it ends in a no DQ and it's just this big brawl, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
More than likely, it's going to be one of those things where Solo's going to was like maybe this close to pinning Cody or something along
Mm-hmm.
the lines of that, and that's when Roman comes back.
So like, okay, now I'm starting to think of everything. I'm trying to like piece everything together because like a lot of theories going around with the wrestling community about like, okay, where are we going from here with everything? Like, there's the whole Bloodline War Games thing that could lead up. I think that's one endpoint that people are seeing with all this. But it's like, okay, how do we get there? And like, part of that story too is Jimmy and Jay, and Jay and Roman as well. But like, mainly Jay making amends with the Bloodline with Jimmy and Roman, and
Yeah,
that's going to be a huge gap to kind of jump over because a lot went down with all that, like a lot. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, how can we get to that point? And I don't know if it's too soon. It might still be a little too soon, and I don't know how we officially get there. But maybe part of it is at SummerSlam we get the Tongas versus the Usos in a tag match. I don't know
hmm
how we get there. I just don't. But I could see that happening, and then that leading to Roman coming back that night.
I do recall there was reports that Hikuleo is supposed to eventually show up too.
Mm,
So that kind of
that's
makes me think
right.
where he's going to factor in, because you already have two of his brothers part of Solo's new bloodline. Is he going to factor into that? But I feel like that would make sense. I don't see why he would be on the opposite side of his two brothers unless Roman
Hmm.
wanted somebody in size, by his size or something, by his side.
Maybe.
But
And like I
I
keep.
see.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't. To me, he kind of seems like he would fit more in Solo's group, but then that just
Mhm.
means like what kind of group is Roman gonna have?
Yeah, because like he would okay, because like let's look at the original bloodline, I guess. So you had Roman, you had the Usos. You can't have
Hmm.
Solo in this in on his team because he's facing Solo.
I would say
You
Sammy, right?
Yeah, yeah. So like Sammy would be the fourth guy, but like if Hikuleo is involved with Solo's group, then who's going to be the fifth guy for Roman's group? And it's like, okay, now we have to kind of start even theory crafting even more.
The only person I can think of, and he's been teasing it for quite a bit online, is Zilla Fatu.
Yeah.
Because I remember him saying he's always wanted to work alongside Jay, and him and Jay are like really close. So I can possibly see him coming in.
Yeah.
To join Roman's side. If they want to have it on the equal playing field, be it like a 5-on-5, especially if it's going to be a War Games match, because more than likely the men's War Games match this year is going to be Bloodline versus Bloodline 2.0.
Yeah. Now, I had a crazy thought, but hear me out. Just everybody hear me out there.
What, Eugene's coming back?
Look, okay, Eugene would be funny. I'm not gonna lie, Eugene would be funny. Okay, but no, just hear me out. Seth Rollins.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because like again, you would have to do something. Like you would have to do some sort of twist to make Seth involved in all this and to make him like be part of Roman. But like, just it would add more, I guess, to like Roman's face turn here, because like when he comes back, he's gonna be a face. Like, let's be honest with that, or at least a tweener, you know, but more than likely a face.
I feel like he'll still have the same attitude. Like you look at LA Knight, for example. Like LA Knight still has that same, like LA Knight's a face, but he still has the same attitude that he had as a heel. He just doesn't go back and forth with the crowd, but he still has the same attitude. So I could see Roman being the same way. Like he's not going to go back and forth with the crowd, but he's going to have the same attitude where he's like up front and he's talking a lot of shit like he normally does.
I almost wait a minute. Here's another crazy idea. See, this is what I love about like these shows that have like
Cody,
not shorter segments. Yes, I was gonna say Cody because it's like, oh wait, it could tie into like him versus The Rock and all that shit, because like Rock wants to face him, and like if Rock's like the big old mastermind behind all this, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Cody would make sense.
Yeah, because like that's the thing, Cody's a nice guy. You know,
and I feel like him and Roman probably have like mutual respect for each other at that point.
Yeah. Well, like we're seeing that with a lot of people. I mean, we had Kevin Owens the other week saying, you know, I don't like the guy, but I respect him. You know, I respect that he did what he needed to, because it was bullshit when it happened, but if anybody understood, Kevin does. Like he's done bullshit like that in the past to keep championships and all that.
Yeah, same with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You can only name the number of times he did shit.
I mean, 2015, the whole year. Oh man. But see, this is what I love about this, because like there's so many theories to craft from all this, and especially how this night started. Like the night started with this big old brawl. Like Cody and RKO did not wait. They didn't wait for this whole like bloodline shenanigans to happen in the beginning of the night. No, they ran out there. They parked their car, they went out there, and we're like, nah, it's on site. We're done. We are beating you guys to a pulp. And this, oh dude, I'm hoping, I am praying that this 6-man tag turns into like a no DQ contest, because this was fun.
It has to be at this point. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it'd be so much fun to see all this. Man, WWE really needs, WWE needs to like take from AEW, because like AEW has their Stadium Stampede match, which is basically a Falls Count Anywhere like multi-man tag match. Like they need to take that concept. I mean, again, like not fully like, you know, make it your own and all that, but it's like take the idea too and do your WWE thing with it, because like
I feel like they slowly are sort of like getting some inspiration from them, because they probably saw Forbidden Door and they wanted to do something similar. That's probably why you have that thing with TNA right now.
Oh man,
And
I can't wait for that.
I do like what you did say, Oblivion in the chat. It says, I like how they're saving Cody versus Randy
Oh
because that's a
yeah.
WrestleMania match. I do agree with that because I feel like it makes more sense to have like Cody and Randy at like WrestleMania, especially if you have like that stupid, or I'm just gonna call it stupid report of Cody and Rock being at WrestleMania because it doesn't really make any sense,
Yeah.
especially
I wouldn't
when
want that.
this whole story is building to Roman. I mean, we didn't get Roman and Rock this year because they had to pivot because of the fans' reaction because Cody wasn't getting his opportunity at WrestleMania. So that's why we got Cody and Roman because that was going to be the plan. But then they switched to Roman and Rock, and then they switched back to Cody and Roman. But I feel like since it's in a setting of Vegas, you got to have Roman and Rock there. I don't see why you wouldn't. But
Hmm.
yeah, I like how they're taking their time with that because that's not like a random match. That's not like Cody going up against like a Santos or Cody going up against like a Logan Paul or like AJ Styles or whatever. That's somebody
Hmm.
that he has a lot of history with. So I do like how they're taking their time with that because at first that was my theory that they might have at SummerSlam, but now I'm not so sure because I don't think Cody's just going to be in this one match with Bloodline. Then after this match, everything's going to be over and done with. Like, obviously, it's going to carry on throughout the summer. And since
Yeah.
Randy is going to be in that story with Cody, I feel like they're just slowly building to it. So then once it happens, it happens. And that can't be at like a B level PLE. That has to be at like the only ones that honestly make sense to have that match would be like a SummerSlam or WrestleMania, just because of the rich history. You even saw what Cody said in this in the promo he did after like all security came out before Nick Aldis brought out the police officers, and you saw him mention that that Randy's first ballot Hall of Famer, 14-time world champion. He's the
Hmm.
reason why I'm here. So it's like
Yep.
there's a lot of history between the both of them. That's why whenever you go on Twitter and you see people talking about, oh my God, I can't wait until Cody and Randy officially get started, it's because of the history that they have with one another. Because a lot of people like the storytelling when it comes to matches with that, because you can dig so deep when you eventually get into that story between Cody
Hmm.
and Randy. You can dig all the way back into legacy and you could talk about, and Randy could always bring up, well, what if it wasn't for you? You wouldn't have that title if it wasn't for you. Randy, honestly, the whole story I can honestly seeing is that Randy would pretty much say that his success, Cody's success, is all because of him. And you could build off of that. And then you would have the whole story of how Randy wants to hit, Randy wants to break that record like Cena's trying to break too. He wants to get
Yeah.
that 15th title reign, 16th title reign, etc. So on. There's just so much you could do with them. So I do like how you brought that up and it is relevant to the segment we
Hmm.
are talking about now. So I'm glad that you brought that up there because I
Yeah.
just want them to take all the time in the world for that match.
Oh, same here. Because like you were saying, there's a deep, rich story there. Not only even before like Cody's time with Legacy, like even his debut,
Yeah.
I believe, was against Cody. Sorry, excuse me. Cody's debut, I believe, was against Randy because Randy was
Mhm.
tormenting Dusty at that time.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, like there's a lot of history they can dive into with this. Even not only just with Randy and Cody,
Oh,
you
yeah,
could
you're right.
dive into their
Yeah, I just looked
families
it
as
up.
well.
Cody's
Oh,
first
okay,
WWE
good.
match was against Randy Orton on July 16, 2027 episode of Monday Night Raw. Yep.
Yes. Good job, Brain. You're welcome. uh I love when I remember something like that. Hell yeah. But yes, I love how we're again slowly building to that. I know a lot of people are saying that might be the Hell in the Cell match at Bad Blood, which I
I
mean
feel like that's
that's
going to be
one
saved for Drew and Punk.
I want to say yes to. So because I feel like well, Punk only mentioned that with his first match, right? In that
Yeah,
interview.
yeah, because
Okay.
I
All right.
rewatched it after we had the podcast last time and we were talking about
Mhm.
it, just to clarify what he said. Because the guy asked, like whoever the news reporter was, the guy asked, like, "Oh, if you were gonna have your first match come back, would it be a Hell in a Cell?" And then CM Punk said, "Why would my
Okay.
first match be a match like that?" So he didn't like say he wouldn't do a match like that again because you got to
Yeah.
think he would be in elimination chamber if he didn't get hurt. So he's still in that structure.
Mhm.
So that would kind of contradict him saying, "Oh, I wouldn't be in a match like that." But you were originally pinned to be inside of Elimination Chamber. You're still in
Yeah.
the same structure, except it's just different rules this time. It's just um a blood. I mean, I just feel like it personally makes sense just to
Mhm.
end off that feud between him and Drew, because I don't see Punk and Drew just being one match. I see it being like a trilogy at the very least.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, and God, I can't. I'm looking forward to see what happens on Monday with
yeah,
that Money in the Bank qualifying match, which is going to be a bang. I am.
yeah. We only
I
got
hope it made it.
two more left.
Yeah, it's that one, and I think the women's one, because I think
Yeah.
the SmackDown side's all good now, right? Pretty
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I think we're good. All right,
I
cool.
think they have three girls, I think it's like three SmackDown girls and three Raw girls.
Mhm. Okay, all right, yeah, I think we're finishing off the Raw side for everything Monday. Okay, cool, perfect. But yeah, like I'm kind of in agreement too. Like I think we could do a small, not a small build, a slow build to Randy and Cody, and I mean, it does deserve a big stage. If there's any other big stage, maybe Royal Rumble, but if we're not doing Cody and Rock at WrestleMania, we could do Cody and Rock at Royal Rumble. I don't care. That'll be fine.
I
Whatever.
mean,
I don't even
that
need.
would fit too, to
Yeah.
be honest. That would actually
hmm
fit too.
Jimmy Neutron returns to help Roman. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be sick. Wait, what invention would Jimmy Neutron have? Let me know. Let me know, Oblivion.
The only
Oh,
bad thing about that is usually whatever invention he has backfires. So I don't
oh
know if
yeah,
Roman
that's
can
right.
trust him.
Well, it is Jimmy Neutron. He did kick his brother after all. So,
Yeah.
oh man. But like, I like to how just we aren't wasting our time with anything. Like Bloodline could have gone out to the ring, done a little bit of a promo saying, "Oh yeah, we beat up Cody Rhodes." But like, no, we're not wasting our time with that because these men just they want to beat the shit out of each other. Like they want
Yeah.
to destroy each other, and it's just like, okay,
That's why it
we
needs
don't need
stipulation.
words.
It needs a
It really
stipulation.
does.
They better. I'm hoping by next Friday they make some sort of stipulation. It just feels weird not to have it. Like,
Yeah.
based on all this shit that we've seen them do to each other, do you really expect them just to be like hanging by the ropes or waiting for a tag to get in? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. They're gonna need something. And I hope they add it either during the weekend or I mean, we've seen them add it during the show, like at the beginning of the show and all that. So they could always add the stipulation then as well. Uh but I don't know. Do you have any more thoughts on this whole bloodline segment about like Cody and Randy possibilities? Any other words that you have to say? Because I'm drawing a blank right
No,
now.
no, that's pretty much it.
Well, we know that Roman's going to be in a rubber duck match with eggs, so I approve of that. I
Oh,
approve
there
of
you
that
go.
greatly.
There you go.
Oh
Hopefully, you
man,
don't get Ernie involved in that.
rubber ducky, you're the one. Oh gosh,
You end up
that's
costing you the match.
he would. But speaking of costing people the match, oh, we had some qualifying matches for our Money in the Bank contest going on. We have to finish off the SmackDown side of things. So let's talk about the one men's match we had. It was another triple threat match of Logan Paul going up against LA Knight and Santos Escobar. Winner gets put into the Money in the
Mm.
Bank ladder match. And Logan Paul did not come alone because Tyrese Halliburton is with him. Hey, what's a basketball player doing in my wrestling? This is odd. I don't know. Are you a big basketball person, Drop?
I like the sport, like playing it,
hmm
but I never really watched it on television that much.
Yeah, like I've never been a big basketball person, to be honest,
Yeah.
but I actually like sent the tweet to some friends of mine. I'm like, hey guys, what's your basketball doing in my wrestling? Like, what's going on here? So And he actually does kind of play into the match a little bit too, which hey, cool. I like the crossover we're doing. Like
Oh yeah.
it's just making WWE feel lived again. Like it's not this cheap pop of like, oh, here's a celebrity guest hosting Raw. It's like, no, we're not getting that. We're actually getting these celebrities coming in or like these other athletes coming in and actually kind of being part of the show and making things seem a little more livelier. Now, I say that, but the Eagles can still go to hell for that stunt they pulled at WrestleMania this past year. Um, but yeah, I thought this was an awesome match. Like this really brought this might have been my match of the night.
Yeah, I actually really like this one, to be honest.
Hmm.
This one is very entertaining.
Yeah, like there was a lot of fast paced action, a lot of like there was some double team stuff, mainly just from the heels, and that's just heels being heels. But like I'm really happy with Santos Escobar's performance here because it's just like, okay, you're not winning, dude. I mean, some people could have said he was gonna win just because like Logan and LA Knight have a program going on, but to me, I was kind of in the boat like, okay, this is going to be a setup for Logan Paul versus LA Knight. And yeah, we pretty much got that with this match.
Oh yeah, that was one of the things I was gonna ask you. Is like I remember you
Hmm.
said in the chat this was the direction that you wanted it to go down.
Hmm.
Like I was curious to hear your like thoughts on that.
Oh yeah. So my thought process with all of this, I'm like, okay, how can we get to LA Knight versus Logan Paul? Because like, yeah, not Logan Paul, sorry. Yeah, LA Knight wants Logan Paul. He wants that US title and all that stuff, but like he really just wants to fight him right now. So of course he's gonna fight him in this triple threat match. He's gonna be focused on beating up Logan Paul. Cool, great, awesome. How do we lead now into the singles match for them? Well, that's easy. Have Logan Paul cost LA Knight the money in the bank briefcase. So it's like, okay, does he cost him like in the match? Or does he cost him by like pinning him in this triple threat match? And I'm like, okay, maybe have it to where LA Knight pins Logan Paul. Because that way, hey, you just pin the US champion. That could give you, your title shot right there. That gives Logan reason to be mad at you and to cost you the money in the bank briefcase.
Yeah.
So, like, as soon as I shit you not, and I'm kind of surprised my family wasn't just like, "Are you okay down there?" Because as soon as they did the roll up, as soon as Logan hit the roll up, my heart skipped. I'm like, oh no, wait, we're not doing the opposite of what I thought. And then LA Knight kept going with it, and he got the pin. I screamed, yeah. Like I screamed it. And I sat back down and I'm like, oh, wait, shoot. My family's gonna be wondering, is he okay? Is he all right watching wrestling down there? Like, okay, dude, chill. But man, yeah, so that's what I meant by that part. Just like
Yeah.
I
That
figured that
was
would be the steps. Yeah.
yeah, that was like one of the things I was really confused about this match because I really didn't know who was gonna come out of this. Because my
Hmm.
first instinct was I thought Santos Escobar was gonna win only because of the program currently going on between Logan and LA Knight. And then I
Yeah.
looked at LA Knight. Honestly, it could go to either both of them because I feel like the same outcome would have happened in Money in the Bank. If Logan won, LA Knight would cost him. If LA Knight won, Logan would have cost him at Money in the Bank, which now we know Logan more than likely is going to be costing LA Knight at Money in
Yeah.
the Bank anyway, which kind of makes me think, are we going to have two people costing people in the Money in the Bank? Because
Yeah.
I definitely think Drew's going to win on Monday. So then that means, oh, so we're going to have Logan fuck over LA, and then we're going to have CM Punk screw over Drew.
Hmm.
So, I don't know, that I was just really confused about this match, but I do like it because at least it gives LA Knight a legitimate reason to get his match because he did pin the champion. So
Yeah.
he could always bring it up and be like, well, I did pin you, so that should mean that I should get a title shot for that US championship. Because that
Exactly.
because he's not wrong, because normally when that happens, that gives you like a good shot at getting a
Hmm.
match to get a shot at of get a shot at winning that title. And
Yeah.
Logan is already pissed at him for him not being able to qualify for the match. So it's kind of like they're both going to be biting at each other's heads.
Hmm.
So it would only make sense, like, after Money in the Bank and that following Friday, they start building that program for their match at SummerSlam, which I'm happy that they're heading down this direction, because I didn't want to see Logan Paul versus LA Knight, and I noticed other people had the same thought process as well. Because I
Hmm.
wouldn't like it if you had like LA Knight versus Logan Paul at Money in the Bank, and then LA Knight loses, and then the next pay per view you have LA Knight win. Because I feel like when it
Hmm.
comes to a match like this, you only really need one match. Because I don't want it to be
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, well, LA Knight lost the first match, and now to me, I know that it's like planted in my head he's going to win the second one, because at least if you look at the match at a SummerSlam, it can go in either direction. Logan could continue his reign, and LA Knight doesn't win the U.S. title, or LA Knight actually wins a title for the first time in WWE,
Yeah.
and he's actually able to achieve that goal that he wanted by getting the US championship. So I like the whole concept of like unpredictability. So it's not one of those things where it's like, okay, I can predict what's happening next. I like how now, once that match gets fully in motion, we can actually see it being one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe it's actually going to sway
Hmm.
either way. I'm leaning more towards LA Knight winning, only because I know
Yeah.
um Logan Paul's his, I believe he was having a girl, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Wow. Yeah, I know his child is due in the fall, so I would assume that would
Yeah.
just be him dropping the title to LA Knight so he can take some time off to be with his wife and their newly born child. I mean, I think it only makes
Hmm.
sense because you see that happen all the time where they take a little break, they spend time with family. I mean, that's what Becky's doing right now.
Yeah.
She's just spending a lot of
Exactly.
time with Seth and their child because she didn't really have that much because they were on the road all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I
Because
do. I
literally, yeah, like literally, she had their kid, and she was like, "All right, well, back onto the grind, back into
yeah,
it." It's like, all
yeah.
right, you do
She's
you.
she's probably appreciating all this time she has now. So
Hmm.
I do like how they're doing with what they're doing with Logan Paul, and I think it's really good. I've enjoyed the build to their feud ever since
Oh,
it
same
started
here.
getting into motion. We had that tease outside of Nick Aldis's office, so I do like that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Santos Escobar, on the other hand, like I replied to Vash in the chat earlier, I have nothing against Santos Escobar because I did believe at first when they did the initial heel turn, I thought he had a lot of big plans heading towards him. But
Yeah.
now it's just a lot of that just felt flat. It's almost like a flat tire, and you got to get air to put into that tire so you're able to move around on the road again. Santos
Hmm.
Escobar, he just doesn't really have anything that's really capturing my interest right now for me to care. Like when you have these certain segments happen in the show, then it's not just him. This goes for like any other wrestler too. You have to give me a legitimate reason to care.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like, make me care, make me believe in you, make me want you to succeed. Because, like, that's the thing. I'm kind of in the same boat as you too. It's like I want Santos to succeed. I want him to do good. I want to see what he can, and I know he is capable of. Like
Yeah.
I saw some of his stuff in NXT. Like I was able to at least see some of that stuff, and I was really impressed with it. But man, I want to see more, and I need to see more, and that comes with giving him more, giving him something more to do on TV rather than just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you up. Oh no, I lost." That's
Yeah,
great.
that's
That's awesome.
it's almost like the same thought process he has with every match he does. He just talks a lot of crap. He gets in the
Hmm.
match, he gets beaten.
And I'm pretty sure we've said this too, because and I'm glad Oblivion said this comment too. LWO got boring, and it's getting the same with Legato. It's like give them something to sink their teeth into. Like
Yeah.
at least like even with the LWO right now, like they're treading water right now with the freaking Judgment Day, and I feel like we've seen that so many times.
Yeah.
Like, or at least
Between
Rey Mysterio being involved with the Judgment Day.
Yeah, because now you have him and Dom fighting on Monday, which I honestly hope Dom wins that match because he
Yeah.
hasn't had a win over his father yet. And plus Dom's honestly in the best run of his life right now. Same with Liv. So it would only make sense to at least, I believe this is actually his first one-on-one match back, if I'm not mistaken. So I would kind of
I think so.
hope he wins. I mean, I would assume Liv would probably be out there to help him.
Oh my god, wait. Oh, you may have just put the idea. You may have just put like the linchpin to Dom turning right there. Right there. It was Liv helping Dom beat Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Because he hasn't won yet.
If she does that on Monday, oh yeah, Dom's done with Rhea. Dom will be done with Rhea. We're calling it right here, right now. Like, and I'm throwing you into that 2-drop. Calling it right now. If Liv helps Dom beat Rey Mysterio, Dom is going to be folding.
Oh yeah.
That is going to be Dom's fold moment right there. Because like that's the thing. It's like, and I know we're going on a tangent right here, but we'll get back to this triple threat here in a minute. But it's like he pushed Rey Mysterio like on Monday, saving Liv Morgan. But it's like, no, I didn't do that because I hate my dad. He's a deadbeat, whatever. Like, you're still sticking within character, Dom, which is good, which is awesome. That's good writing right there. But man, just the prospect of Liv helping him beat Rey Mysterio, because like that's the thing. That's his whole thing, is like he hates his dad. And if anybody helps him beat up his dad, he's like immediately hooked on them. Oh my gosh. Oh, that might happen. That might happen on Monday. Oh my god.
That's what my gut's telling me.
And I am a person who enjoys their gut instincts. But let's get back into this Money in the Bank thing, because like we were talking about with like Santos Escobar, it's like, okay, we just want more from you, and especially with your group, like get something to sink your teeth. And they tried with this whole Apollo Crews thing. Like they tried with that. They tried with the whole Andrade thing too. But like nothing more came beyond that, and it kind of sucks.
And
Oh,
you also
man.
got Mello coming in too towards the end of that match.
Yeah, like, and I just wanted to mention this really quick. Like, Melo's in the back. He's just like, first of all, he goes up to Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin, which, pause, Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin are just hanging out backstage.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, it's still hard for me to like take a babyface Baron Corbin right now, and I think WWE's trying to play along with that too a little bit, because like they're putting him in smaller segments where he's like acting. He's basically acting like himself. Like this seems like Baron Corbin, or whatever his real name is. This seems like him. Like this is that guy, not the character, the guy, which I appreciate a lot. But yeah, Carmelo just kind of walks in. He's just like, guys, check out this t-shirt idea. Mellow in the Bank. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? Those probably would sell pretty good. And then I kind of started thinking more. I'm just like, the majority of people going into these Money in the Bank ladder matches, they're coming up with interesting names for when they win the Money in the Bank. Like we have, I think Tiffany Stratton has said like Tiffy in the Bank, but there's like Tiffy in the Bank. There's a Yeet in the Bank. There's Mellow in the Bank. What was the one? Somebody said it the other day, and I'm like, oh, that didn't work too well before you did it. It might have been one of the women one. I forgot, but like,
yeah, I don't remember.
I like how everyone's like making a name for their own version of Money in the Bank. I don't know. It's just, it's a little fun. It's one of those fun things that you find out. Man,
I will say this though, for like a wild card for somebody to win, I think my wild card would probably be Mello. My only
Oh,
issue
same
with
here.
that is it's kind of hard for me to really believe it. He's going to have a successful cash in because Cody's not losing that title. And if Gunther wins at SummerSlam, which I think he is, there's no way in hell Gunther's dropping that title.
Yeah.
At least for the men's side, it's kind of difficult for them to actually have successful cash-ins because neither of those champions I could really see dropping that belt. Unless, hypothetically, Chad Gable wins Money in the Bank.
Maybe.
And because he's so obsessed with the IC title, he goes after that, which I feel like could be a safe option only because you know he's going to lose against a Gunther or Cody because there's really no story there.
Well, I guess that too. It's like he would probably be ending up cashing on Braun Breaker though.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, okay, do you take the title off of Braun Breaker then at that point? So
no.
Yeah,
I feel like he'll have a long run.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he is going to destroy Sammy in Canada. I feel bad for all those Canadians.
I do want to say this though, because we weren't able to do the show on Monday. Just to give quick thoughts on that, I do think it's too soon for Braun to have a match like this.
Oh, with Sammy?
Yeah, I just feel like it's too soon just to have a mid-card title match.
Yeah,
he could have did something with Ilya or some other guy on the roster for a little bit. Then he could have made it to Sammy. Because one of the best things that you can normally do is like you have this guy just have like this just blowing through everybody, and then he comes across Sammy. That's when you could do it. He hasn't even been there that long. You're already doing something like that while be against him being champion. No, I just think it is a little too soon.
Yeah, because like you had him beating jobbers before this, and then you finally gave him some sort of competition in Ricochet. You know, you didn't put him in King of the Ring. You had him face off against Ilya finally. And like the other thing too is like a lot of Braun's matches have not been ending conclusively. Like there's always somebody interfering, somebody ruining it. And I know that's, you know, the story they're trying to tell and all that, but like because that's the thing. I thought we were setting up for like a multi-man kind of thing with this match, and like having Sammy still come out, but like Braun wasn't pinned or anything. If anything, he was distracted by, I don't know, like Ludwig Kaiser getting, you know, taking time away from him, or like Sheamus like being too much for Braun to put down super easily at least. And like Braun is like that close to like breaking up the pinfall that Sammy ends up winning. And then you get I thought the singles match was coming at SummerSlam, you know, because that would have been a bigger stage. At that point, you could still you could have Braun have a few more matches, have a few more singles matches to kind of build up that resume and kind of build up that force that's coming for Sammy. Like, hell, you could have done this cool thing. I'm this is just on the fly right now, on the fly booking right now. Each week have Braun Breaker, like, and this has to be like a named person, you know, like I hate to throw Ilya in there, but like you could have Ilya, Sheamus, you know, the people that he didn't have conclusive fights with, at least. Have him just like destroy them, like, and not only just destroy them, like a super squash, like almost like what he did to that one jobber like a month ago. Like, have him be that intense going towards Sammy, like building towards Sammy, and then have him do the same thing to Sammy at SummerSlam. Like, yeah, like we've seen it before with like John Cena and Brock Lesnar. That's where Superflex City came from. Like, and that was almost like 10 years ago too.
I know Vash is probably listening to this the next morning, wondering why we're talking about Raw, but it does factor into the whole Mello and Carmelo thing, so that's why we brought it up.
Exactly.
But, I think
it's fine to go on tangents. It's okay.
Oh yeah, but I think the next match is going to be very interesting to talk about because that was the match that I was really concerned about.
Oh, that it was. It was one of our women's Money in the Bank qualifying matches. That's right. We had Jade Cargill versus Candice LeRae versus Tiffany Stratton. And I'm not gonna lie, I almost thought Candice LeRae had it. I almost thought, like, with that one roll up, I was like, oh no, this is not going to be a good show if Candice LeRae pins Tiffany Stratton. Oh no. But luckily for us involved, it is Tiffy time. Drop, how'd you feel about this match?
Like the only reason why I was a little concerned about this is because I thought they were going to do one of those things where Bianca was going to lose her match, but then Jade was going to advance in hers. So then they would build up that whole jealousy angle between Bianca and Jade, where Bianca's getting jealous of Jade because she's getting all this attention and she's advancing, she's qualifying for matches, she's getting championship opportunities, she's getting these big matches with big superstars in the women's in the women's division. So I thought they were going down that angle, but it doesn't look like they are. And I will admit at times, like I agree with what you said. I thought Candice was going to take this only because of how she was moving around on the ring at times and how she was like pretty close to pinning Tiffany Stratton. But I'm happy that Tiffany won, because if she wins or she doesn't win, like personally, she's my choice for Miss Money in the Bank. I just think it fits her character so much. And if anybody would have cashed on Bailey, I feel like she would be a realistic option. And you could always play it out where even if she does win Money in the Bank and you have Nia and Bailey's match at SummerSlam, Tiffany could do one of those things where she just uses Nia just to get to a certain position, and she could use that Money in the Bank to like hit her across the head, and then she goes after Bailey, finishes her off, does the prettiest moonsault, and then she wins the women's title. Like I definitely see her winning the women's title before the end of the year. I am very confident in that. If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. I just have this gut feeling that she will. And I feel like this is all part of her plan, because it's kind of hard to trust blondes. So you can only imagine what Tiffany's going to do. But I was happy. Well, at least with characters like her, just her personality, it's kind of hard to trust her, because you look at it like this. It's like, okay, I'm teaming up with the big kid at school because I know that they can protect me. And then when it comes to a certain point, you get what you want, you're going to break off. So, I mean, the only people that honestly make sense to win the women's Money in the Bank is either Tiffany, Lyra. No, actually, I'll say it like this: either Tiffany, Chelsea, or a wild card, Lyra. Those are the only ones that really make sense to win this. And I feel like at least with Tiffany, she could like, well, at least with like Tiffany and at least with Tiffany and Chelsea's case, at least it fits them well on SmackDown, because once Rhea comes back and once she gets that title back, I don't see Lyra having a successful cash in, or whoever else is on Raw that has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Like I don't see them having a successful cash in where they're gonna championship they want. Like I just don't see it being successful there. So I do feel like a SmackDown girl is going to win. So it's between Chelsea Green. So it's between Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, or Lyra.
Okay,
I'm happy. Like I don't have to be worried anymore. So
no, you don't have to be worried.
In my book.
You don't have to be worried at all anymore. Which, and again, like this was also a good match tonight. We had some interference too by Indy Hartwell, which was also part of the reason why I thought Candice was gonna win, because like Jade like gets pushed into the corner and all that. Uh-oh. Drop your camera. Oh no. Oh no, Drop's camera went out. Oh no. Oh no, Drop. Well, while he's fixing that real quick, as I was saying. Oh, here we go.
Yep, there we go.
Hey, I found you. Speak, sir.
Yep, I'm here. I don't know what happened.
All right, good. I don't know what happened either, but Yeah, we're still talking about this match and all that. Okay, great. All right, we're back, everybody. We're good. All is well. I thought this match was really good too. Like we had some double team stuff going on, especially against Jade, because it makes sense that these two are going to double team Jade. She is the powerhouse, and she's also, even though she's new, that's also a point against the other two because it's like, okay, what are we gonna do against her? Like, yeah, we faced her in tag team matches and all that, but like one on one or like two on one might be a little different. We got to handle this a little differently and all that. And I also like too how you have Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton as your like top two, it sounds like, to win the Money in the Bank. Because like in a way, they're kind of the same person,
Yeah.
but in like a different kind of personality kind of thing. So it's like, okay, they're both hiding behind bigger people, bigger, stronger people than them,
Oh yeah.
but like one's more of a chicken shit heel and the other one is more of like the cunning planning heel.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm kind of more in line with like Tiffany Stratton winning because I'm sorry, Tiffy in the bank, a pink briefcase,
Oh yeah.
the merchandise writes itself. It'll
Oh
sell
yeah.
itself. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's the
there.
one I'm heading. That's the one I'm going for anyway. I feel like it just makes the perfect sense.
Hmm. But like Chelsea Green is a character with that thing. Cause like, okay, because you brought up, Rhea coming back, and I'm like, okay, I can picture it right now. Chelsea Green cashes in. She wins the women's world title. Then all of a sudden, this is my brutality. And it's like I can picture Chelsea Green's face being like that shocked, like, oh face, like, oh no. And then like maybe Rhea could just pull a John Cena and be like challenge for the world title right then and there, squash Chelsea Green and get her title back. It's okay, yeah, we're doing a bit of fantasy booking here now too, because like now I'm thinking of like, okay, Chelsea Green cashed in on Liv and got the title away from Liv, but then Rhea got the title back, so it's like, oh, it kind of ruins the Liv revenge tour too.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, but in
Yeah,
a good
I was
way.
gonna
In a good
say
way.
in a good way
Oh,
it does. But I
yeah.
feel like what they might do, they might want to have a satisfying conclusion to that story where
Oh, yeah.
Rhea actually get, because I feel like it would be more satifying if Rhea gets the title off of Liv.
Yeah.
I feel
Again,
like that's the only
fantasy
reason why.
booking.
Oh yeah, I know.
But oh
That
my
would
gosh. Yeah, go ahead.
that would catch me off guard though.
It would. And see, for me, that would be a swerve that's just like, okay, you know what? You got me, WWE. I'm along for the ride. Not like, passwords we got where it's just like, oh, why are you guys doing that? Okay, that's weird, but fine. All right, whatever, cool, neat. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for this women's Money in the Bank match. Glad Tiffany Stratton's going to be part of it. And again, I like how Jade lost this match and how like because we had more interference too because we had Nia and Bianca out there, and I thought,
Yeah.
okay, are we gonna plant the seeds for Jade and Bianca? Which they kind of did, they kind of didn't, but like I'm glad we're taking our time with that as well,
Yeah.
much like the whole Randy Orton and
It'd be
Cody
kind of
Rhodes thing.
it'd be kind of weird if Jay did blame Bianca for that because Bianca was only trying to help her. She didn't really do anything.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that all plays out, which
Hmm.
it's fine, it's neat. But I do also like how you said about like Tiffany using Nia for all of this. And honestly, like I know this is kind of a short run for it, but I could see that cash in being at SummerSlam. Like Tiffany's just there ringside. She sees that Nia has Bailey down, and it's just like, all right, bonk you on the head.
Because
Hey, ref.
if you think about it like this, not now that I'm like thinking about like SummerSlam,
Hmm.
why would Nia want why would Nia want her friend having an automatic advantage to getting her title if she wins? It's
Yeah,
not like
exactly.
Tiffany's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna cash in on Liv."
It's like,
No, you're not.
nah. It's just like Finn the other week, who's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cash in on Cody. It's just like, nah, you were no,
Now,
nah,
yeah, we
you
know you
were
want to go after Damien,
yeah, we know
but
you want to try to humble Damien.
but the boy you couldn't beat probably end up getting the title next week. But we'll save that for a conversation on Monday.
Oh yeah, well, we'll talk about that on Monday when we get more on that with Raw. But yeah, I mean overall, again, good match, great way to kind of get another participant in there. But we got other people that got to get in. That's right. We have another match as well. We had Blair Davenport versus Naomi versus Indy Hartwell. For the last spot, at least on the SmackDown side, for the women's Money in the Bank match. And you know what? This was good. This was good. Like, and I said it in my notes here. Like, I'm not too familiar with Blair Davenport's style, but she had a good showing tonight, I thought.
Yeah, that was the only thing I really wanted from her out of this match is I just wanted her to have a good showing,
Mhm.
just so people could see what she's capable of. Other than
Yeah.
that, there was part of me that wanted her to win, but at the same time, since it is her first match, I don't know if they would really give her a win like that so easily.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Naomi being involved makes sense. Not
Mhm.
against it.
Oh, hello, Vash. Looks like somebody's in the chat. Yeah, we found out who that was that took the picture of your sign. It was your fan who's in the chat as well, hopefully still. Oh man. Vash, how you doing out there, buddy? Yeah, you doing all right? How tired are you feeling? Because that crowd was good tonight. Like we haven't even mentioned the Madison Square Garden crowd. Like I mean, they always bring it whenever they're there, but they were on fire
Oh,
tonight.
whoops. There you go.
Oh man. But yeah, Vash, hopefully you're having a good night with your lovely lady. And hopefully everybody out there again is having a good night. If you haven't already, I'm just gonna take some time real quick. If you haven't already, and hit that like button that's right down there. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? There's plenty of people that like us. We like us, and we like the show. We liked SmackDown. It was great. It was awesome. It was fan freaking tastic. So go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button so you know exactly when we're going live with our Weebs of the Ring content and our other content as well. And going down to the description, checking out those links, always a great time. And yes, they were okay. No, we're gonna have a conversation here. We're gonna have a conversation, Vash, about you guys cursing a lot to Solo. Why? We're trying to listen to this show on the TV. We're trying to watch this show, and you guys are cussing up a storm, making us not be able to hear anything. Like, come on. I'm blaming Vash for this. It's his fault.
It has to be because I couldn't even watch SmackDown tonight. I was getting
Yeah.
the show was getting muted. I was getting a whole bunch of black screens, so it makes me even more excited for September when they move over to USA. So I don't
Hmm.
have to deal with the black screen anymore.
Mm.
Which I mean, honestly, like now that I think about it, it's like Fox has shows
Yeah.
on their platform, especially when they have a show like Family Guy and American Dad on
Mhm.
there, and you're like bleeping out like Dan, what they bleep out shit, and I'm pretty sure I've
Yeah.
heard them say shit on Family Guy before.
I mean,
So it's
they said shit on South Park like 100 something times, but
yeah, exactly. It's like I always hate when they do that because you have to let it feel natural. You can't just bleep out a whole
hmm
bunch of shit. Everybody knows what shit is and all these other names. If you want to
yeah,
like, if you want to block out like the F word, I can understand that.
yeah,
But it's like other words and stuff like that. You don't need to do that. I mean, look at
yeah,
what they're doing at Monday Night Raw, and then you're worried about bleeping the F bomb. I think what they're doing on Monday Night Raw with Liv, with the little innuendos of what
Oh
the
my
text
god.
messages are that we clearly know what they were alluding to. You should be more concerned with that than F-bombs.
Should have been me, damn it. Not Dom, damn it. Shit.
The whole Judgment Day
There.
saw it.
The
I think
Carlitos
what I
saw
wanted
it.
the most was that I wanted that plate of chicken nuggets Dom had.
Yeah, look, if you ladies and gentlemen out there, if you get a lady or gentleman that makes you chicken nuggies and
Yeah.
like that many chicken nuggies, nah, keep them,
He-
wife them,
he's
husband
actually
them.
he's actually the legitimate reason why I had chicken nuggets for lunch yesterday.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's great. We
With
want
barbecue
Roman
sauce.
chance. Oh, that's right. We do want Roman back. Oh man. But so back to our women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. Again, I'm glad how we're protecting Jade here. Getting attacked by Indy. We're continuing that story, which also bled into the next match as well, which you know what, we might as well just get into it because I don't think there's anything more to say about
No.
this women's match.
No.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the other one here. We have Indy Hartwell versus Blair Davenport versus Naomi. And I think this was a bit of a better match than the last one.
Yeah.
Oh no. What do we got?
I'm just laughing at Oblivion's comment. I'm not gonna say it.
Well, I already posted it, so
Oh, okay, there you go.
There we go.
know-
Everybody
also-
love it.
I also noticed you changed your profile picture recently, Oblivion.
Oh, we did. Oh, you changed your profile picture. Interesting, sir. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we had our other women's match here again. Indy versus Blair versus Naomi. Glad Blair was able to show out a little bit. Indy, like I thought these three had really good chemistry in the ring. I thought Indy playing the powerhouse, Naomi playing the veteran, Blair playing, the newbie on the block. But like I thought they all brought it. And I even mentioned in the notes too, I was like, Blair Davenport really kind of impressed me with her selling. Like I think that's her biggest strong suit is her
even
selling.
NXT, I noticed that she was always a good seller.
Yeah. But man. I don't know. This was just a better match than I thought it was going to be, I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh, your real name is Cindy if you ever want to refer to me that way. Well, you know what, Oblivion? Too bad. You'll be known as probably Oblivion for the rest of eternity. But Cindy, maybe we'll remember that. We'll see. I don't know. I have a bad memory. Anyways,
I'm assuming she probably said that so we don't always have to read her username all the time because we'll probably get people coming in here with like 100-character username or something like Vash's fan. You probably end up having something like Drops Mike or Whawkins Banjo plush.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Banjo. Oh, the craving to play you every single day. God, I love that game. Love that series. Man, one day I'll talk about Banjo-Kazooie. But yeah, I think a couple spots I wanted to highlight here at least. There was just like this neckbreaker DDT combo that oh my gosh, it looked really nice. Like, man, it was really nice looking. There's that part, and of course, like Jade coming out and getting her revenge on Indy. So, hey, that's cool. That was neat. Again, just like I like how within these, and I kind of said this too with like the whole when we were talking about like King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring and all that. I like how during these like qualifying matches or tournament matches or whatever, we have stories within them. Like there's a story within the grander scheme of everything. So like the grand scheme here is like, okay, Money in the Bank. We got to qualify for that. We got to do it. We got to have that. But like, there's stories within that too. Like, tonight, for example, Blair Davenport and Naomi kind of have this thing. So it's like, okay, they might be attacking each other and Indy takes advantage of that. Or, earlier tonight where we had LA Knight, Logan Paul, and Santos Escobar. Like 2 of those guys are going after each other week by week, and the other guy is just kind of like the oddball out. So I like how we're just intertwining these stories together in order to make just a better product overall. Because like this is how you make things. This is how you make your product something for people to care about, something for people to tune in and like spend their money on to see what's going to happen or what stories or how stories are going to progress going forward. But
Mm-hmm.
and I think each match brought that tonight, and even the storyline too with the bloodline. Like I think everything kind of melded together tonight, and I kind of realized it. It's funny in this match. I think it was when I was realizing it. I was like, man, everything just ties so well together.
Yeah.
You
Even in
know?
like the interference back and forth with
Yeah,
Jade's match and Indy's match.
you know. And I mean, we had a couple backstage segments too that just kind of led into matches we're going to be having next week. But I figure we can probably talk about those next week because there's really not much to them
Oh yeah.
besides like when we start having those story progressions in the next week. But I think we might as well move on to our final thoughts. What do you think?
I thought this was a really good SmackDown. I liked it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Bloodline was definitely the height of it, the highlight of it.
Oh yeah.
Um, I'm satisfied with the qualifiers that we got tonight, where we got LA Knight. Okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany Stratton, which is my Money in the Bank winner, so I'm happy that she's officially qualified now.
Yep.
Naomi makes sense. Um, Other than that, though, I feel like next week is really when things are gonna start kicking into gear.
That was
Because
the one I was thinking of. Oblivion. Sorry, not to interrupt. Drop. Like that was the other name I was thinking of. Indy had Money Indie Bank.
I was waiting for the drum roll.
Nah. This one's one of those ones you just gotta say it and just be like, yo, just check this out. Like that's some good wordplay from Indy
It
Hartwell
is
there. Like
actually. It is.
that is really, really good. But I'm sorry. Continue on. My bad.
No, but like I mentioned, like overall thoughts mainly Bloodline highlight of it. I'm
Mhm.
satisfied with the qualifiers that we got tonight, and it just gives me another reason to tune into SmackDown next week because of this
Yeah.
Bloodline storyline. I think that's the main thing that we talked about in the show is because of like all the different kinds of direction it can go. It can go down now. This is now Paul Heyman
Mhm.
is being written out of the Bloodline. What's going to be happening next?
Yeah. Like what's next for Paul Heyman? What's next for this Bloodline 2.0? Are they gonna get a new wise man? Like, I wonder if that's gonna be the case. Like, not to go back into that either, too, but it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
I wonder if it's gonna be the case where it's like, sorry,
That
I just saw something in the chat and it made me think of a comment I made in our group chat.
huh?
That's all I'm gonna say. And look, Oblivion. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I feel sorry for Indy Hartwell. Why? Because she will never be over with me. And the reason she'll never be over with me, well, that's for me to know and you guys to maybe one day find out because
Hmm.
I ain't going to say that here. Like, unfortunately for you, Indy, but oh man. Um, man, that Oblivion, you got me with that. You got me with that. I am sorry. I'm drawing a blank now. You broke me, Oblivion. Look what you did now. Okay, all right. You know what? All right, you saved yourself. You saved yourself from the ban. All right, I'll take that. I'll take that then.
I think that's just that typical Oblivion thing you see in the chat every so often where she just says everybody wants someone or she's
Good,
just trolling in the chat.
good.
So
Look, I'm gonna
she's
take
known
that
as the
one.
troller.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that one to the bank in Toronto.
Surprisingly, no JJ tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, JJ, you're doing all right if you're watching this later on. Ah, man. But yeah, I mean, again, overall, I thought SmackDown was great. Looking forward to Raw on Monday. Looking forward to Money in the Bank, obviously, next week. We also got Heat Wave next week, too, with NXT. So
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a big weekend for for the wrestling. Yes, get her, Vash's fan. Cindy wants Dom. She wants those sloppy seconds.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the fact Zelina got sloppy seconds start being chanted.
You ever see that remix she did with the
Oh, so
Hakta
good.
thing?
Oh, I did. I did. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Everybody, make sure you give your significant other good old Haktua, you know. Oh man. But with that awkwardness out of the way, I think, you know what, let's go ahead and just kinda close our evening because, you know,
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you. I had a long day. And
Oh yeah,
hopefully,
me too.
yeah. And again, we have another big weekend of wrestling too if you're an AEW fan, because AEW's got a Forbidden Door this weekend. So if you're watching, hey, you might be seeing some of us live tweeting the show. Who knows? You'll have to wait and see and find out on the old Twitter machine. Wondered if Dom has a fake mustache on. Look,
Kind
Dominic
of does
has
look like it.
it does. It's just a bunch of dirt. That's like
Yeah.
he just goes into the back, grabs a big old pile of mud dirt and just slaps it on his face.
Yeah.
Oh man. But you know what? With that being said, we're gonna take some time to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to listen to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. If you enjoyed what we had to say, why not go down to the description right now, find all of our social medias, make sure to follow us, make sure to comment on our things, make sure to like us, you know, because hey, we like you guys, especially when you're tuning in and being awesome, wholesome, lovely people. And, you know, make sure that if you do type in Anima We Studio, make sure that we has a 3 in it because we don't believe in E's. Also, use the hashtag Weebs of the Ring to interact with us about anything regarding wrestling before, during, or after our shows. Feedback is always appreciated as we are nothing without you tuning in. Weebs of the Ring is presented by Anima We Studio. Thanks to our production team of Vash, Whawkins, DropThisBox, Rome, and Jokester, as well as special thanks to JB and Abe. Thank you for joining us, and remember, no stunt grannies were harmed in the recording of this podcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.